it's Heather Baxter here, and you are watching HBTV, the place to be inspired in all seasons of your life while building the faith. So in today's episode, I want to share with you 4 things that we need to pay attention to in order to pursue our dreams. What are 4 important things? So if you're out there saying, I know that I have this higher calling, how am I going to make the 2 work? I'm hoping that this will be a blessing for you. But before we go into that, I want to share a recipe with you today, and it is on pasta fagioli. So come join me in the kitchen and let's get started. Okay, let's get started. The first thing I want you to know with pasta fagioli is you can either have this a white base soup or a red base soup. I'm going to go ahead with my 2 cans of diced tomatoes. If you do not want this red and you want to play more on the white base, then you're just going to play it up with your cannelli beans and your garbanzo beans and your Great Northern beans. Again, go with what's in your cupboard. If you have more garbanzo beans and more cannelli beans, then you can make it with that. I have a Great Northern big jar of beans left because during fall I did a lot of chicken chili and I never used that up. So I'm gonna go ahead and use that. But my ingredient list for the soup that I'm gonna make this evening. So I'm using 2 pounds of turkey. You'll see that here. I definitely am always using turkey when I am cooking. We're gonna use 3 cloves of garlics, celery, carrots. I'm using frozen spinach. You can see it back there. If you have fresh spinach, that's great too because you can saute that up with onions. I'm using red kidney beans today, or white if you have it, garbanzo beans, 2 cans of diced tomatoes. Please drain those. And then I'm going with oregano, parsley, and pepper. And then as far as pasta, use whatever small pasta you have. I have the seashell in my cupboard right now, so I'm gonna go with the small seashell. I'm also gonna use a little cilantro because I believe in cilantro and everything you eat. It's like my favorite thing. I'm topping with the Parmesan cheese. So let's go ahead and get started. I will show you step by step how to do this. It's so easy and it's going to be very flavorful because the key is what are you using for your stock? What are you using for your spices and how much are you putting in? So let's go ahead and get cooking. So the first thing that you want to do is dice up your onions to your liking, add as much as you want, and then you're going to take a clove of garlic and mince that really good. Like I said, I use 3 cloves. After that, you're going to want to go ahead and saute that up in with the turkey. I just dump that all in there. And then I also add basil, and I add my flavors now. I'll use pepper in there. I'll use some basil. I've known to throw some oregano in there. Again, I don't measure out my spices. I just add stuff in. I guess that's not really great for measurement, but just taste it and see what you like. Then what we're going to do is go ahead and I'm really picky about big chunks of meat in any of my soup or chili or whatever it is. So I have this awesome gadget from Pampered Chef. And it's so good because you can take it and actually I just kind of press it around the whole time as I am sauteing up my meat, and it just separates the meat real nice. So try that out. If you don't have one, I'll leave the link below for what item that is on Pampered Chef. I go ahead after my tomatoes are drained and I dump them into the meat. Again, please drain the tomatoes, dump them in, and then I put a frozen thing of spinach in there, and if it's on low heat, that'll eventually unthaw and just mix up nicely. Go ahead and rinse your beans, and then open up your beans that you have in cans and rinse those also, and add them to the broth that you have going. I have 3 cups of beef broth, 3 cups of chicken broth. Add them in there. So after everything's kind of boiling and simmering, go ahead and cut up your carrots, and don't forget to snack on carrots with hummus because that's my favorite thing to do too. And you're going to want to go ahead and chop up your carrots, chop up your celery, and continue to let that simmer. Taste it as you are going along. See what other spices that you want to put in, and it's just kind of a gradual process. Again, I keep that simmering on low, and I also keep the broth simmering on low. So add as much celery as you would like, and add as much carrots that you feel good. We like a lot. We like it really thick. That's actually a lot. And then go ahead and add that right on into the saute pan and let that simmer on low, I would say for a good 35 minutes before you blend the two into the pan. And then later you can go ahead and boil up your noodles. I do not add my noodles into the soup because I feel it makes it mushy, but you can just boil your noodles later, and then everybody can add a cup of noodles to their soup. And then after that, of course, clean up. I love to have my kitchen clean before I start eating dinner. I like everything cleaned and put away. So the only thing we have out is our soup pans and the bowls that I put out. So hope you enjoyed this recipe. Oh, those are wet it cloths. I will put the link below. They are amazing. My sister got me that for Christmas, so try one of those. Anyway, have a blessed day. Hope you like this video. Fashion freebie for today. I will leave the link below on where I got these awesome sunglasses. I watch ErinBusby.com. She is a fashion blogger, and she always shares all of the coolest fashion products that she gets, and then she leaves the link for Amazon. These were only $11. The frames are awesome. They do not scratch. They're not Chanel. They're just a brand that makes a sunglass similar to Chanel. And so I love these. They're really fun. They're hip. And yep, I will leave the link below. So there is my fashion favorite for March. Now on for a little success tip. So I want to talk to you about how do you move toward your dream job when you have to work that part-time job or that full-time job? What are 4 tips that you have to keep in mind when you want to move toward that passion? Number one thing, before I give you the 4 tips that is so important, is to keep that passion in action. And what I mean by that is constantly know what your passion is. If God's put that gifting and that calling deep inside of you, it's not going to be hard to recognize where you're being called and where you're being drawn. So one important thing that I do at the beginning of the year is I create a vision board, and I put those passions on that vision board. So check the link down below, and I have a whole visioneering series, and I think that will be really important, because if you have all of that going on in your heart and you just want to be able to organize all of those thoughts, this is a great place to start. This will get you moving towards your dreams and not feeling stuck in maybe that part-time job where you feel like, I don't belong here. I don't want to do this. I hate my life. I can't stand my job. Sometimes we're there for such a time as this, but how do we launch out of that? How do we bridge to the place that we're feeling that we're called? So you constantly have to have action towards your passion. You've got to be moving. You cannot wait for everything to calm down, things to show up, for the money to arrive, for your job to be not to be able to have the job, have all the money so you can work your dream job. A lot of people think, well, once I'm rich and I have the money and I'm wealthy enough, I guess I can go after my dreams. No, you actually got to work your dreams while you're working your part-time job, and I will share that. And in the meantime, you've got to constantly be bridging and bridging and bridging so you can achieve your dreams and be settling in that full time. If that's truly where God is calling you, He will make a way and provide favor each step of the way. I believe 99% of the time, and that's a high percentage rate, we are being tested for our dreams. We are being fireproofed. What I mean by that, we are just being made stronger and solid and ready to walk in our dreams. We're going to be able to handle what God is getting us ready for. So 4 things that I want us to talk about is, number 1, you need to stay committed to your dreams. But while you're staying committed to your dreams, make sure you have a positive attitude for wherever God's called you in your part-time job. For me, I work for a company called Home Management by Design. I work with a very good friend of mine, and she has founded this business over 20 years ago, and I am her main partner. And what do? We go into homes and we help manage, whether we're organizing, we're decorating, we're maybe doing some grocery shopping, maybe we're decorating for a party, maybe we're seasonally decorating, maybe we're just cleaning, maybe we're doing laundry. There is a list of things that we do. And I will be honest, I love my job. Do I want to go every day and maybe clean a home? No, not exactly. But I keep my mind positive, mind over matter. I look at how God is using me today That's not my reality now. But that does not mean that, number one, there's no action toward my passion. That does not mean that everything's freeze framed until, the opportunity happens. No, there's 4 things that I need to be keeping in mind on a daily basis. So again, number 1, commit to love the job that you have now and stay committed to have action with your passion. And what I mean by that is oftentimes when I come home from home management by design, I have to work on my passion at night. I've got to work on some of my top 3 push goals for the week. And you will see all of that in my Visioneering series, how I break down the goals to reach my dreams on a weekly, monthly, and a yearly basis. So many times I have things that I need to do during the week to push me and bridge me toward my dream jobs. And I need to have that energy and that happiness to say, I'm coming home, I can't wait, I'm working on my dream job. Or the days that I'm off. If I'm working home management by design, the days that I'm off, it's 100% HB Ministries until God does allow and gives me the favor to work that full time. So go after that dream, that calling, that business, but remember to love your day job, be thankful for that right now, and also be creating action for your passion while you're working the day job. So you have to do the best that you can in the moment that you're in. And that brings me to number 2. Do the best that you can Monday, the best that you can Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, February, March, April, May, 2016, 2017. Do not stop dreaming, but do the best that you can in the moment. Now, what do I mean by that? As you're looking at your dreams and your goals, do the best that you can in the moment. Try to continue to grow toward your dreams, bridge toward your dreams. Maybe you need to buy a Mac and do the best that you can by learning the new software. Maybe you need to buy a computer. Maybe you need to, another type of computer. Maybe you need to learn social medias. Maybe there's something with a camera you need to learn. Maybe there's new software, technology, editing. I know these are specific to me as I'm growing, that God's teaching me how to do this. So I'm going to do the best that I can in the moment that I'm in. I'm not smart and educated about everything that has to do about my dreams. So maybe God's giving me this time right now to work part-time and then educate myself in the moment that I'm in right now. So do the best in your moment. Number 3, during this transition period of going after your dream, but of course, living in reality, having that part-time job or whatever it is, full-time job, constantly have profit clarity. And what I mean by that is have clarity on what you're building. Know what your dreams and your visions are. Have them in front of you, because when they're in front of you, you are clear about what you want to see as your end result. What is the profit? What is the profit personally for you? How are you giving God the glory in this when it comes to the end, when you're actually in your dream job? The platform's not about you. It's not about Heather. It's what God's calling me to use the gifts that He's created me to move further. I know some entrepreneurs and some people will say that it's God, they won't believe that God really put a passion and a calling inside of all of us. They just believe it's, happenstance, that you're gifted this way, you're smart this way, and if it just happens to you, it happens to you. You're the lucky one. I don't believe that at all. I believe that God does everything specific in every season that you're in. That's why I said in number 2 to live the best that you can in the moment that you're in, because know that God is building your character every step of the way. But in order to do that and live your best, you have to be exercising number 3, which is profit clarity. Know what you're building. Who are you serving? Why do you have this passion? And what is keeping you driven? There is also another podcast. I'll list the link below called How to Stay Driven. What does it mean to stay driven? And that is something that constantly inspires me to stay driven toward my dream, even when I'm in the transition part. I'm on that bridge, moving from that full-time job over to that dream job. How do I stay driven? Please check out that podcast too. I have that link below. I think there's 3 series to that, but go ahead and check it out. I was filming that actually in Colorado up in the mountains. So there's a lot of great analogies in there and some great visuals. So I'm encouraging you to check that out. What is your market statement? What is that? How are you captivating? How are you marketing your ideas and your visions to everyone around you? Are you staying silent and kind of freeze framing your life until you got enough money, the opportunity is perfect, God opened the door and you just walked into your dream job? If you freeze frame everything in life, and you will realize that you will stay stuck on that bridge. You will stay stuck in the part-time job. You will stay stuck in your full-time job because honestly, God wants you to constantly be marketing and validating your own passion and your own feelings. Validate it back to yourself. Be working it out loud. Don't freeze yourself, but be working it, living it as if it's going to happen tomorrow. That may mean, for me, let me give an example. I'm doing YouTube videos for HB Ministries to inspire success in all areas of your life while building the faith. I'm teaching how to use, like I got a new camera that I'm filming on right now. I'm teaching myself how to go after that. Maybe you have a dream. Let me give you an example of my sister-in-law. Her dream is to own her own adult facilities someday and manage it. She is working it right now. That is her full-time job, working it. She's one of the managers right now, but her whole dream is, I'm going to manage my own home. I'm going to buy a home, the property, build, and this will be mine. But you know what? God is growing her by working under somebody else right now, but why not dream big? And why not practice everything God's called you to within the job that you have right now? Continue to validate your passion to yourself. Market yourself by practicing out loud what your goal is, where you're heading. It's so important to do that. Again, do not freeze frame all of your attention to living in misery because you can't really achieve your dreams right now like maybe somebody else can. Live with passion. Have action towards your passion on a daily basis. So I'm hoping those 4 points were a blessing to you. Thanks for joining. Hope you enjoyed the pasta fagioli soup, and I will see you next week.